this is just a general stretching video, and what I'd like you to do is have a pillow handy. I have a bolster here, but you can always use a pillow. And you'll get started by lying down on your back in supine. So when you're ready, come on towards your back, bend your knees. You can catch the backs of your legs for support if you need, and just relax all the way down. The most important part of this is that you're breathing. So begin by bringing your left palm towards your belly and the right palm over the center of your chest. You can close your eyes or you can simply soften your gaze, breathing out all the air from your belly. And then inhaling through your nose. Breathing out through the mouth. So continue a few steady cycles on your own. And as you breathe here, I want to point out that exhaling, these longer exhales connect you toward the parasympathetic nervous system. Longer inhales to the sympathetic nervous system. And very simply, if you focus on taking longer breaths out, you begin to relax. And then slowly inhale, draw your knees toward the center of your chest, bringing your palms below your kneecaps. You can allow your sacrum, the flattish part of your low back, to rise up off the ground. You might catch opposite wrists, opposite forearms, or opposite elbows as you hug your knees into your chest. And then as you exhale, gently press the small of your back down onto the ground. Inhale, draw your knees toward your chest, rising the sacrum, the flattish part of your low back, from the ground. And then exhale, gently press the small of your back, your sacrum, down. One more time. Inhale, curling your tailbone toward your chin, the sacrum from the ground. To then exhale, repress the small of the back down. And then bring the sole of your left foot onto the earth beneath you. Interlacing your fingers underneath your right kneecap, breathe in and draw your right knee joint toward your right underarm. And the important part here is your sacrum, the flattish part of your low back, stays connected to the earth. You might then straightenish your left leg onto the ground beneath you and really draw your right knee towards your right underarm, beginning to feel into the psoas minor, that inner part of the groin, the hip flexor space. Take one more inhale, draw your right knee towards your right underarm. Exhaling the air from your belly. And then as you breathe in, draw your right knee towards your sternum, the center of your chest. Bring your bind alongside the back of the right leg, resting on the hamstring, or bring the bind to rest on the calf muscle. Doesn't matter how high the bind goes, just make sure the bind isn't directly on the back of your right knee joint. If you'd like to add a bit more, then you bend the elbows out toward the side, drawing the right leg closer toward the crown of your head, and then you might begin to circle the right foot in the ankle joint. One direction. The other. Really feeling into the hamstring, the calf muscle, and the Achilles tendon. And as you breathe out, use your hands to massage alongside the back of the right leg. Bending your right knee. This is where you might use your pillow. I'm going to use the bolster. Bringing the right knee across the body. The inner right knee relaxes on your pillow, on the cushion, or you might not need it. And you might bring the inner right knee toward the earth beneath you, bringing the left palm toward the outside of your right knee, and maybe you extend your right arm all the way over toward the ground. Gently turning your chin over toward the right shoulder joint. What I want you to notice when you breathe out, emptying the belly of air, you can draw your navel up toward the spine, intensifying the sensation in the big stabilizer muscles of your low back, the quadratus lumborum 1 and 2, and the longissimus. And then as you breathe in, gently guide your chin back toward the center of your chest. Draw your right knee toward the midline of the body. Bend your left knee. Bring the sole of the left foot onto the earth and the right ankle over the left knee. The traditional figure 4, piriformis stretch. This might be enough. Or interlacing your fingers alongside the back of the left leg or underneath the left kneecap, drawing the figure 4 closer to you. You might rock from side to side. Just make sure to keep the right foot in dorsal flexion so the right big toe is drawing toward the knee. You could also bring the right palm toward the inner right knee and gently guide the inner right knee away from your body. Be a bit more rocking. Feeling this not only in the piriformis but in the IT bend. And then slowly bring the sole of the left foot onto the earth beneath you. Take a moment and bend your elbows, palms face the sky. Press the sole of the left foot down into the ground and lift up your pelvis. Move your left foot so your bottom foot over toward the right side, deepening the cross between your legs. Now send your knees over toward the left. Taking your time, if you need the cushion underneath the knees, you could add, moving the body into a twist. And then you might turn your chin towards your right shoulder joint. Your body is twisting, but I want to remind you that your spine is moving in axial rotation. It's not the spine that is twisting. If your spine is twisting, that is very concerning. It's the body that's twisting. You often hear about twisting being very detoxifying. It's true, as long as you're breathing. It's more of a massage for the internal organs. As you exhale, slowly pass your chin back through the center of your chest. As you breathe in, draw your knees toward the midline of your body, unwind the legs. And just take a moment, resting the soles of the feet on the earth. You might gently sway your knees a bit from side to side. Just feeling into the difference, the right and left of your body. And then, with the sacrum, the flattish part of your low back connected to the earth, interlace your fingers underneath your left kneecap, the patella. Draw your left knee towards your left underarm. If the sacrum stays connected toward the ground beneath you, then maybe you straighten your right leg. Really drawing your left knee toward the left underarm. Feeling into that psoas minor space, that hip flexor, inner part of your groin. Take one more inhale here. Exhale. And then as you breathe in, draw your left knee toward the midline of your body. Interlace your fingers alongside the back of the left leg on the hamstring or on the calf muscle. Again, it doesn't matter where the bind goes as long as it is below or above the back of your left knee joint. If you want more, then you bend your elbows. You might begin to circle the left foot in the ankle joint. You can really move the leg toward the crown of your head. And the reason we're not resting the bind alongside the back of the left knee joint is it puts a lot of pressure on the tendons and ligaments of the left knee. One more inhale here. And then as you exhale, use your hands to massage alongside the back of the left leg, bending your left knee. You could use your pillow, your cushion, or you might simply guide the inner left knee over toward the right. You could bring the right palm toward the outer left knee. You can extend the left arm in space. The left knee is meeting the earth. Turn your chin over toward the left shoulder joint. And again, I want you to notice when you breathe the air from your belly, and then begin to draw the navel toward the spine, it's increasing the sensation in the big stabilizer muscles of your low back, quadratus lumborum 1 and 2, and the longissimus. We'll talk more about the stabilizer muscles alongside your mid-spine in just a moment. One more inhale here. Breathing out. And guiding your chin back toward the center of your chest. Gently drawing your left knee toward the midline. Now bending your right knee, sole of the right foot on the earth. Left ankle over the right knee, setting up for the piriformis figure 4. You might then move the figure 4 closer to your body, interlacing fingers alongside the back of the right hamstring or underneath the your knee. You can rock from side to side here. And if you want a little bit more, you can bring the left palm toward the inner left knee, guiding the figure four away from you. Just that gentle reminder to keep the left foot in dorsal flexion. And then slowly returning the sole of the right foot onto the earth. Bending your elbows like a cactus, palms face the sky. Inhale, lift your pelvis. Move your right foot over toward the left, tightening the cross between the legs, and then slowly, knees go over toward the right, taking your time. You could use your cushion if you need. And then gently turning your chin toward the left shoulder joint. Breathing in. One more inhale. And then exhaling your chin back toward the midline of your body. As you inhale, gently draw your knees back. And take a moment. Hug the knees toward the underarms. You can rock a little from side to side. You draw right knee, it's massaging the ascending colon. Left knee, descending colon. So right, the pathway for digestion. The left, the pathway for elimination. And then take a moment, move your knees toward the midline. If it's comfortable to rock on your spine, you can make your way to seated. Otherwise, you can roll toward one side and we'll meet seated. Now what I'm going to do is turn to face the opposite direction so you can see the back side. I'm going to sit comfortably. And of course, I could sit on a cushion. The reason you might sit on something is it elevates your hip joints above your knees. And it brings your pelvis into more of a neutral tilt. It becomes maybe a little bit easier to find line. Exhaling, sink your chin toward your chest. Now as you breathe in, roll your right ear towards your right shoulder joint. And then as you breathe out, sink your chin toward your chest. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder joint. Exhale, chin to chest. Do this 2 more times for me, please. So we're beginning to soften into the upper trapezius, which is the densest part of the upper back. Excess tension here is the main contributing factor to headaches that you would experience either side of your skull. The next time, you inhale your right ear towards your right shoulder joint, keep it there. And then begin to walk your left fingertips over toward the left side. I'm sitting on a cushion, so I have less range of sending my left hand left. That's okay. Because then I'm going to exhale, slide my left palm back, bring my left palm underneath my bum. Inhale, arc my right arm up and over, bringing my right palm toward my left ear. And then exhale, release my right ear toward my right shoulder joint. Now this might be enough. If it's not, what you might do is wrap the subscapula, the wingtip of your left shoulder blade, around the center of your spine. And then you could also rise the sternum, which is the center of your chest, from the roof of your mouth. Take one more inhale here for me, please. And then as you exhale, slide your right palm back toward the right ear. Guide your head up. And we'll change sides. Sinking your chin toward your chest. Inhale, left ear toward the left shoulder joint. And then walk your right fingertips over toward the right. Just a couple breaths. And then sliding your right palm underneath your bum, so you're sitting on the hand. Inhale, arc the left arm up and over. To then exhale the left palm toward the right ear, releasing the left ear toward the left shoulder joint. That's not enough for you. You can wrap the right shoulder blade, really the wingtip, the subscapula, around the center of your spine. Rise the sternum from the roof of your mouth. Intensify the sensation. One more inhale here. And then as you exhale, slide your left palm towards your left ear. Guide your head up. And then one more little seated stretch. Inhale, circle sweep the arms up over the crown of your head. As you exhale, bend your right elbow and bring your left palm to clasp the right elbow. This might be enough. Or bring your right palm toward the outer left bicep, tricep, and then left arm goes over toward the left. It's okay if the right elbow moves over toward the upper left-hand corner of your space. You're dropping the left arm down. One more inhale here. Exhaling the air out. And then inhale the left arm up over the crown. To exhale, I like to press my arms out, and you can feel the blood flow from the right shoulder joint toward the elbow, toward the wrist. Take a moment. And then inhale, circle sweep the arms up over the crown. Exhale, bending your opposite left elbow. Taking the right palm to clasp the left elbow. This might be enough. Or bring the left palm to clasp the outer right bicep, tricep, and send the right arm over toward the right. And again, it's okay if the left elbow joint moves toward the upper right-hand corner of your space. One more inhale. And then breathing in, right arm up, left arm up. Exhaling and enjoying that fresh flow of blood from the left shoulder joint to the elbow to the wrist. Now, what I'd like you to do if you're sitting on something, just move it out of your way. And there are so many good stretches I can share with you, but this last sequence is my absolute favorite. What I'd like you to do is ease on towards your belly, however you arrive there is perfect. And then go ahead, bend your right knee for me, please. What I'd like you to do is make sure that the right knee joint is in line with the right hip joint, and the right knee is stacking over the ankle. You're making about a 90-degree angle between the upper and lower part of the right leg. And then gently press the front part of your pelvis down into the ground. The intention here is to do this without squeezing too much into your glutes. You could be here. You could be here, you could pause the video, you could stay for as long as you like. Feeling into that psoas minor space. However, the next layer, this is my favorite. The right arm extends over the crown of my head, and I thread the left arm underneath. Now my inner right knee is the anchor. I want my inner right knee to stay connected to the earth. I'm going to inhale, roll the sternum, the center of my chest to the sky. You might even get a few really satisfying pops and cracks in the spine. This takes axial rotation a bit higher. You were in a twist of the body before, but now you'll feel it, as I mentioned so long ago, in the stabilizer muscles either side of your mid-spine. So the latissimus dorsi, the erector spinae, the multifidi. And again, the more you draw your navel toward the spine, the more intense the shape might become. If your right arm is extending in space, it feels good, that's okay. You could use your cushion. You could always bend the right elbow and rest the right palm on the rib. And if it works for your body, you can even turn your chin toward the right shoulder joint. Take one more inhale for me, please. And now as you exhale, straighten your right leg and roll back onto your belly. Bring the right arm over the left arm, the palms face down. Really press the palms into the ground. The more the wrist joints come in line with the shoulder joints, the more intense the shape becomes. You can rest your chin or your cheek on the upper right bicep, tricep. Breathe into the space between your shoulder blades. You might even give yourself a little bit of a hug. And then as you exhale, unwind. You might take a moment to observe the difference between the two sides of the body. A gentle sway of your lower half from side to side. And then we'll seal it off by bending the left knee. Inner left knee connecting to the earth. Left knee in line with your left hip joint. Left knee stacking over the ankle. You're doing your best to create about a 90-degree angle between the two parts of the leg. So between the femur bone, which is your big leg bone, and the lower part, which is the fibula and the tibia. So the fibula and the tibia and the femur bone create about a 90-degree angle. You can press the front part of your pelvis down into the ground. But again, the intention here is to do this without squeezing too much into your glutes. So of course you can pause the video and be here. It's really nice if you like. But the next layer, my favorite, left arm over the crown of your head, right arm threads underneath. And then I take my time. My inner left knee is the anchor. I'm going to roll the sternum. The center of my chest toward the sky. Drawing my navel up and in. I can bend the elbow, I can use the cushion. Whatever feels good for your left shoulder joint, the left shoulder girdle, as long as there's not too much strain of extending the left arm into the free space. And there are variations, of course, on this shape, but I'll save them for another time. Take another couple breaths here for me, please. One more inhale. Now as you exhale, straighten your left leg and roll back on towards your belly so you're prone, bringing the left arm over the right, palms pressing into the earth. You might bring your wrists more in line with the shoulder joints. I have a lot of mobility and flexibility in my upper body. Your arms might be more like this, and that's totally okay. What I want to point out about this shape in particular is it really gets into the teres minor and the infraspinatus, which are the smaller muscles along the inner wing of the shoulder blade. They're responsible for externally rotating the humerus, the upper arm bone in the shoulder socket. You could go for a bit of a hug. You might spend a lot of time in internal rotation on your device. So this is a really, really nice way to counteract all that work you might be doing on the computer or on your phone. Take one more inhale, please. Then, bend your elbows. You could stack your palms, rest your chin or your cheek. Sway the lower half from side to side. What you might do, tuck the palms, sink your hip joints back towards your heels. In this reclining warrior shape. Be here for as long as you like. Softening the frontal brain, your thinking mind, to the earth beneath you. Great. Thank you so much for taking this time, just devoting it to your own body, your health, and your well-being. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye.